What's going on YouTube? Welcome to Post Cologne. My name is Chris. Today we're going to be taking a look at Armaf Italiano Nero Uomo. Now Armaf Italiano Nero Uomo is an eau de toilette concentration, and you can pick this up for about $20–$25 depending on where you shop. I grabbed mine from fragrancebuy.ca. It's where I buy most of my fragrances from. Great website. It has a huge selection of Armafs, huge selection of other Middle Eastern houses, huge selection of designer house fragrances. Overall, great website, great prices, great shipping, great customer service. Overall, I just love fragrancebuy.ca. That's where I buy most of my fragrances, if not all my fragrances nowadays. I have a coupon down below. Save yourself $5 if it's your first time using fragrancebuy.ca. Save yourself some money. Check out some really awesome fragrances, including this one. Now, kicking things off with the presentation, I actually really enjoy this bottle. For an Armaf bottle, they reined things in a little bit. This is not the typical wild, wacky, kind of semi-tacky, ugly bottle that Armaf can put out occasionally. It's a nice, elegant bottle. It's got this kind of faux leather casing around it with some embossed writing across the bottom here for Italiano and Uomo across the back. And then it's got the engraving of the Armaf logo right there. So it's a very nice looking bottle. It's got the chrome part to it here. Again, it doesn't feel cheap. It feels like this is all connected quite well. Cap is nothing special, but it is a little bit better quality plastic than some of the Armafs. I just reviewed the El Cilio the other day, and it has a very cheap looking plastic cap to it. But this has got a little bit more weight to it, a little bit more thickness to it. So the cap is quite nice, but again, it's a plastic cap. It's nothing special. But it does snap into place quite nice. Does sit on there quite good, nice and snug. Pops off pretty easy as well, but it's a great looking cap. Atomizers on the Armaf bottles are typically pretty good. You get a big long distribution out of this, nice wide spray. Oh, and this fragrance right off the top, all it is pineapple. That's all I'm getting. It's that Dole fruit cup pineapple juice, that very juicy, mouth-watering pineapple scent to it. It's a fantastic pineapple. I really enjoy this. Funny thing is, that's not one of the notes listed in the opening or at all in this fragrance. It's some citruses they list, but I'll be damned if that is not a pineapple note. That is so pineapple to me, I can't even describe it. This is pineapple. Either the website's wrong or my nose is wrong. I'm getting pineapple. That's all I'm getting out of this. Lovely, lovely pineapple. That will last through the duration of this fragrance. It does kind of settle down a little bit after a couple hours, but this isn't necessarily like a linear fragrance. It does kind of change over time, especially after the first couple hours. What it does is it moves into this strawberry type vibe. And again, strawberry is not a note that's listed in this fragrance. I think it's kind of that pineapple mixing with some of the cypress that's in the mid, and perhaps some of that patchouli that's in the base of this, that kind of gives that strawberry note to it. I really pick up on that strawberry, and mixed with that cypress and some of that patchouli gives it kind of that woodsy edge to it. It's a very interesting fragrance in that sense. So it's that very sweet, fresh, fruity mixed with a little bit of woods undertones. It's very fun and playful on one hand, but it's also got like a refined elegance to it and some masculinity that still is held on to that. It kind of balances out with that playful, fruity vibe to it. So it's a very interesting fragrance, and I really quite enjoy how well it's blended. It doesn't have like an overly synthetic smell to it. It doesn't have any kind of rough edges or any kind of screeching to it. I happen to really enjoy this. It's a lovely fragrance to me. Now, in terms of performance, I actually was quite surprised with this. I typically don't get great performance with most fragrances. My skin tends to just really eat up a lot of fragrances, so they don't last as long. But with this, I got about 8 to 10 hours off of my skin, which is borderline beast mode for me and my skin. I put a little bit on my shirt as well, and I can smell this into the morning. So I got great longevity out of this. Everyone's going to differ a little bit depending on your skin chemistry, but this performed fantastic on my skin. I was really quite surprised by that. And in terms of projection and sillage, I actually was quite surprised as well. This was pushing out fairly well for a good hour and a half, 2 hours. For example, I put this on before I was going to go visit my parents at their house, sprayed it on. 2 hours later, I arrived at their place, and within a minute of my dad opening the door and me coming in, him being a few feet away, he made a comment about the fragrance I was wearing, which happened to be the Italiano Nero Uomo. So this was still pushing off my skin. Granted, it's quite hot right now. It is the middle of the summer at the time of filming this video, and so the heat definitely will help push this off. This is a great summertime fragrance for that, but you could use this year round. This will be just as good in the winter, I think, as it would in the fall or the spring, but the heat definitely will help push this off. But that sweetness that's in here, is it doesn't come across cloying like a lot of sweet fragrances might in the high heat. I think this is nicely balanced off with some of that woods to kind of keep things toned down and not get it too screechy with that pineapple sweetness to it. So very fresh, very sweet, but balanced off nicely with those woods. So again, back to the projection longevity. Performs really great, above average for me, and I was quite surprised by that. So overall, I am quite pleased with this pickup of Armaf Italiano Nero Uomo. I was a little skeptical when I was first getting it. I looked at the note breakdown, I thought this looks like something that I could enjoy, but with an Armaf, sometimes you never know what you're gonna get. Sometimes you can get some absolute bangers, other times you can get absolute flops. This one, in my opinion, is a great fragrance. It's not my favorite in the entire Armaf line, but it is definitely within my top 10. If you like that pineapple sort of sweetness vibe, if you like that sort of like strawberry mixed with some woods, that cypress, that patchouli kind of base, I would definitely recommend getting your nose on this, if not picking this up. For $20, $25 at places like Fragrance Buy, I think this is a steal of a deal. I think you'd really enjoy it, and it's definitely worth having in your collection if that's the type of fragrance that you enjoy. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you next time.